The answer is right here with Doreen and Grace.
But do we really have the right answer?
Maybe, maybe not.
But we try to make sense of what's happening around us.
Welcome to another episode.
And if you're new here, we need to remind you, like, this is where everything happens, in this space where politics, culture, psychology, and real life all collide.
Yes.
And in today's episode,
Wait, first. We need to catch up. Small catch up.
Yeah.
How was your week?
My week. Tough.
Tough.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Tough, but also interesting. Was going through a lot, whether to know if I have malaria or if I have infections, just because of traveling. I've been traveling for the past 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. So I had to just go do checkup. But last week I was in Samburu.
Hey.
Yeah.
How is it there? Where is Samburu, by the way?
It's a county bordering Baringo. Yeah, it's close to the Rift Valley. I can say that. Oh, it's in the Rift Valley. Yeah, it's in the Rift Valley. Yes, a very interesting place, and this is something that we'll have in our later conversation about digital. This place is so cool. Most part of Samburu doesn't have internet. You see where just people live, so cool, fresh weather.
They just live.
They don't even have these roads inside. They just have the main tarmac road. These other roads, you figure out how you walk, how you want your road to be, where you want to pass.
But
Like they don't have like tangible roads.
Is that cool though?
It's cool. You see, you just wake up, you don't even know like what's happening. If you want to go to internet, you have to go to town for you to access internet or close to a booster.
That's not cool.
Yeah, but another bad thing is that most of the time they have war clashes between the neighboring community, the Pokots. Yeah, so that's really bad, these insecurities, but apart from that, the weather, just the way people are, they are so welcoming. I just love that in Samburu.
I've never been to Samburu.
Such a nice place. You have to go. Next to, you get to Laikipia, then Samburu. Yeah, but it borders Baringo on the other side. Yes. Okay. Very nice place. Yes. They even walk with giraffes, not giraffes, zebras. Zebras just walk. They do nothing to you. It was cool. They are just roaming. Exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
How about you? How was your week?
My week was okay. Last week I was at a panel.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, discussing issues to do with skill, mobility, and work. Was
it your first panel?
No, it was not my first panel. But I'd say it was a panel that really resonated with me in terms of my experiences, my opportunities, and the reality kwa ground has been speaking when it comes to work and the gig economy. So I was flowing.
I was content. Yes.
Content recorder from our last episodes.
Yeah.
It was like a full circle moment of what we've been talking about and how we've been explaining our frustrations when it comes to work and the industry. Now I'm sitting at a panel discussing that, so it was really good
and very interesting.
Yeah.
I think we need to do more of that.
We do
in our upcoming not even when we now start going into research and just inviting guests in our podcast. We need to talk more about gig economy.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
So let's get into the episode. First things first, let's talk about what is happening in the country as we speak right now. So there's the Africa Forward Summit happening.
Yes.
President, what's his name?
Macron
is in the country. And I saw a very interesting post that said, hit by rejections in West Africa, France now seduces the rest of the continent through the upcoming France-Africa Summit dubbed Africa Forward.
Yes, and I was wondering, why Kenya and we have other francophone countries in Africa?
Yeah.
That's when you just told me like it's like this president was rejected in the West. Yes.
Yeah, in West Africa, yes.
Yes, and don't you think this is quite abnormal? And that is why also the opposition were not impressed with this thing, because as Africans we need to be united, and you also need to consult these other African countries, West African countries, why they could not host their own, so that the summit to be brought in Kenya.
It's like we are falling for these things every time. Why are we so people pleasing like this?
Is it us or is it our... Okay,
he represents us.
Yeah, he represents us.
It's us.
It's quite unfortunate. But on the other side, I was looking at the outcome as per is it the prime cabinet secretary? Yeah, saying that it will bring new jobs for us, thriving industries, improved livelihood, and also empowerment. Yeah.
Relate?
It's a question to be asked, because we've also been seeing all this happening, but as citizens, we keep on questioning, like, is this really going to help us, as much as there are also other agreements being signed on top of that. There were like 11 new agreements signed to deepen the bilateral cooperation, but as citizens, we keep on asking, is it actually changing? Is it actually going to impact our life? We keep on asking ourselves that. Yeah.
So I can see his comments, or rather his remarks today. He says, and I quote, "We are the true Pan-Africanists. We believe that Africa is a continent, and that this continent has enormous amount to build. It is the youngest in the world, and therefore has an extraordinary demographic dividend. It is one of the greatest growth in the world." End of quote. I don't know. Well,
I wish people could have, and we need to start recording videos. I wish people could see the way you're reading that comment and your face.
No, actually, the next season we need to bring people who understand geopolitics very well and tell us, do we really need the West?
Yes, and it's not because we hate development. We also need to ask ourselves, because there's a lot of promises. We just first need to achieve those other promises, because before we even
sustainable, because now we will be. It just feels like a lot of begging.
Yeah. Today China, kesho tunasikia US, kesho kutwa Gulf, tumeenda huko UAE, kidogo tuko France leo, like kila mtu, yani all of a sudden kila mtu anapenda tu Africa. Everyone loves
and
Africa.
To be specific, Kenya. There's just, I don't know. Wale wajanja, they will make money out of this.
And now even other African countries have started loving Kenya, including Nigeria. Is it like, are we seeing resources in Kenya, or is it markets, or is it minerals, or is it the youngest population that are just vibrant in Kenya? We don't know, but as a Kenyan, I feel like I'm so tired of these promises, and at least start achieving these promises before you even start promising more and more things.
We are going through the most. We are suffering, to say the least. Anyway, I think today's conversation will be hard, because the next thing we are talking about is the 2026 finance bill. Doreen started off.
Nianzie wapi? We start from the last week that we had discussed about the projections increasing from 4.3 trillion to 4.7 trillion. Yes. That's quite much, and it's still affecting the conversations that we've been having on issues of jobs, issues of the informal economy. And to begin with, I just look at the new 5% presumptive tax on the mitumba imports. Still goes into our conversations of the informal sector. This will hurt the low income earners, but on their argument, they say that it will simplify the multiple tax points, making compliance even easy. What's your take on that?
You know, I'm seeing an explanation here that says that if you import a bill of 1 million, then you will pay 50,000 regardless of whether you make a profit or loss. That's what it means.
And the conversation was like they were looking at, before they did this 5% thing, they were looking at how much is someone supposed to make, or the retailer supposed to make as a profit, and they were adding, like, initially it was like, was it 20%? So they were doing like a 5% profit when you are retailing. Then I don't know, there was just some additions there, clocking to around 30% something. So
I don't know, maybe, I had not thought about this, but also this mitumba issue. We've been talking about buy KE, support KE, this.
Yes.
When will we ever get there? If not for some reason, for such tax measures being put in place and making it so hard for people to import mitumba.
Yes. And I was just looking at, apart from mitumba, we also see these other things that we'll also discuss about, still affecting the maybe informal sector, the people who are just looking for jobs, the gig economy. So I was looking at it this way. So we just sit down and we see, now that we are not able to tax the traditional way, and people who are working in this civil service, and other people have now started growing, especially in the gig economy. Now, how can we reach these people? So we just sit down. That's why I was asking you, who are these advisors? Who come up with these tax issues?
Yeah.
You just sit down and you're like, no, because people are so much into the gig economy and they are using mobile phones. Let's tax the mobile phones so that we see if they will buy these mobile phones or not.
25% excess duty on telephones.
On telephones, so that we grow the tax base on digital economy. Apart from that, if we are not able to do that, we come back to the transactions they make.
The transactions.
Yeah,
we saying on which one? Because they're saying on removing, what is it?
Adding VAT on the digital financial services. So they just sat down and thought of just adding VAT on these transactions. Okay, their argument quite makes sense, but I don't know. Like, they want to create that aspect of neutrality with the traditional banks and the digital platforms who are still operating on legal gray scale in issues of transaction. That might actually make sense, but it's also affecting these specific people in the informal sector who use these specific methods still to just get something from their pockets. So
there's also the suggestion that the bill move the income tax deadline from 30th April to June 30th. I mean, from June 30th to April 30th.
Now, with that aspect, I don't know. Maybe it's because they want to see what have we made this year, so that when they even working on the projections, that's just my assumption. They know, like, by the time we are starting a new financial year, with how we have this specific date, this is what we have, like just their projections and all that. That is my assumption. But apart from that, I just want to come back to the mobile phones. You are adding 25% excise duty on mobile phones to expand taxation on the growing digital economy. You're just looking at the digital economy. But currently, what are we seeing? Everyone is using smartphones, including schools,
schools, banks,
work,
accessing
business,
government services.
Yes,
it's not a phone is not a luxury.
Yeah,
in Kenya.
It's not a luxury right now. All our pupils, including even grade 1, are sent homework via phone. Go and Google on your phone and do this assignment. Work, they depend on phone. So you're just targeting content creation because you want to expand the tax base of using mobile phones. You're not looking at these all other aspects that comes with mobile phones.
Why tax the Ninio 25? Why increase 25 excise duty on telephones? See, there are other ways you can get Nini or this tax out of these people.
Yes.
Other than now the phone, maybe come any content creation. Maybe if you get Nini, maybe 2% or something. But okay, that's something that the parliament should interrogate carefully for sure. But also the finance bill, to be fair, it has its own merits. they're saying that there will be a reduction of corporate tax for non-resident companies from 37.5 to 30%, which ideally improves our investment climate for sure. There's also an extension of the tax amnesty to cover liabilities up to 31st December. Up to 31st December 25, which then provides a genuine and welcome pathway to compliance.
Okay, that's a conversation that we need to also ask.
There's also
because
VAT exemptions on electric buses, bicycles, animal feeds.
That's good because you're also promoting the issues of immobility and trying to look at our take care of our environment. But also at the same time, while talking about you've mentioned something on investment from the outside.
Yes, corporate tax.
Yeah, corporate tax, but I'm also looking at rent income tax. Yeah, and they were saying like because there are some investors from outside that come in, build their own in Kenya, so they were looking at that aspect, but then they are looking at issues of improving compliance. So they increased the rental income tax from
residential rental income tax, yes,
from 7.5% to 10%, just to close these gaps, of course, and also to increase compliance. But okay, it's okay to increase tax. All these things somehow make sense, some of them. But then the question is, yes, we don't have a problem as people of Kenya, but how are we going to trust the government if these things continue? If there is the corruption issue, all these things, where do you want us to trust these institutions if all of these things continue happening? If we see deaths every day, yes, we are paying tax, but we don't know how it's being used. We still see deaths, we still see corruption scandals, like it's quite a lot. And as Gen Zs also look at it, we say, should we reject before it's even passed? Because we've started even comparing globally countries that have already are already at another level, like countries like China, countries like US. How are they doing in terms of these things? How are they doing in digital economy? How are they even controlling their tax for all of them to move to a certain... so these are
it's upon now Parliament. We are going to unfortunately put our trust in our in our MPs again, that they just don't rubber stamp whatever is given to them. They need to scrutinize all these amendments and these, some provisions that are there that are quite ambiguous, like now the 25% on mobile phones. That for sure. These are things they need to sit down and say, maybe not.
Yes.
So it's upon them, because at the end of the day, it's on their hands right now. So they don't need to just be like sour, put everything yes, stick everything yes, just because it's on the floor.
And if they are not going to give us like accountability, we are going to do that for ourselves.
Unfortunately or fortunately, they should know. I don't want to go back to what happened, but they should know we will. If they continue with just saying yes to everything without thinking or without scrutinizing it.
This is a generation that cannot be governed. We see it's internet
we
generation.
We are tired.
We know like you are going to tell us this. If you are not able to prove it, then you're gonna see yourself in memes. You're gonna see yourself on TikTok trending.
And 2026 is upon us, so you just know if you vote the way it's not supposed to go, and you know for sure it's not supposed to be like this,
so please do the right thing, make the right choices there, because you represent us. We chose you to represent us, so just make sure you do the things right, because we don't want to be angry. We don't want to go on social media. We don't want to mobilize there. We don't want to see ourselves in the streets rejecting the same finance bill that we rejected 2 years ago.
But they should know we will. We will if they don't take necessary.
And honestly, this brings us to our next topic of discussion on
next
theories.
Segment.
Yes.
If you listen to the last one, you must have enjoyed.
Yes.
So we talked about a few of them, like the boiling frog, the black coffee, the empty boat, the burnt toast. These are very interesting theories. So maybe you can pause here and go back and listen to them, because now we are starting again, or rather we are continuing. And the first one on today is The invisible guest theory. So this one is interesting, actually. Most people are not thinking about you as much as you think. You're overthinking how you walked into a room, what you said, how you looked. Meanwhile, everyone else in their own head doing the exact same thing. So stop performing for an audience that is not paying attention and start actually enjoying the room. You're not under a spotlight the way you think you are. You know, this is so true.
Yeah, and this is something that I've just asked you right now. Like, how did you feel being on the panel? Yeah, did you have butterflies? And this is something that I normally face before I go into a conversation. I don't know how people overcome this, but those two butterflies, I feel like now everyone is looking at me. Everyone.
They are not, because also them, something I realized on the panel, because we were like 5 of us, and I mean, you were just there, you could see. Even this person sat next to me, who was a doctor. He was also shaking. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
But don't say it loudly, because maybe he or she listens to our podcast and is
it's true. He was shaking, and he was, you could tell he was also very anxious. So for me, it's more of, it's okay to be anxious. I think being anxious or feeling the butterflies or whatever, it's just part of us. It's part of our system taking, trying to warn us, or rather just trying to get comfortable again. But you do it regardless. It's like doing what you need to do alongside it. So if your heart is pumping very hard, you just let it pump.
Either way, you have to achieve it.
Talk as you shake. Just talk. And for some reason, when you get past it, inakwa even much easier. So yeah, for sure, I was cringing on some things, like I said, or rather, I feel like I might have said a little bit too much. But then again, actually, it was today I was thinking about it. But then again, I'm like,
either way, you already said it.
I already said it, and trust me, nobody is thinking about what I said.
Yes.
At exactly what I said.
Even some people are even past that.
I don't remember what they said. I don't even remember what they addressed. Yeah. So why do I think they are remembering?
And something else before we even go to the next theory is this aspect of introverted people and not wanting to share something on social media, or even being taken a photo where when they are somewhere, they're like, please don't take me a photo, I'm still an introvert. They even fear taking a photo, fear even speaking on a podcast. Now, I was trying to tell them, and this thing affects most of my friends. I was trying to tell them, just get your phone, sit, or just do a selfie, or get in your mirror and just start telling yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderfully made, I'm me. Like, just have a conversation with yourself, and you'll find out that you are even better off, and you keep on growing and growing in this aspect.
You have to get outside, or rather beyond your own cringe, because cringe, you will feel it, you will see it, it can eat you up, but you trust me, you're invisible.
Yes.
I'm not even thinking about you
or what you said. Trust me, I don't know.
Yeah. So the next one,
the cycle completion theory. When someone's chapter in your life ends, you stop running into them. Think about it. The ex you shared the whole city with, somehow you stopped seeing them everywhere the moment it was really over. The friend group that dissolved, you don't cross paths the way you used to. It's almost like the universe naturally stops putting people in your orbit once their purpose in your life once the purpose in your life has been fulfilled.
Yeah. I totally see how this theory is true, but it only happens when you let them go completely. Also yourself, you have to let them go. But if you're holding on, for example, to that ex, and you keep on calling them, they will show you dust until the way you let them go.
Yes.
They will always even if you're not meeting, they will always cause some feelings.
Yes,
until
that
you
is
let them
quite
go.
true.
And when you let them go now, you even forget about them.
Yeah.
You never even see them on social media.
Yeah. But it normally happens. I'd want to relate it with your ex, the ex that you just normally want to go back to, even if how toxic it is. You stay for like a month, but then we pop into that ex just like once, and you're like, back into it, like that cycle of completion. But once you say like I am done, and you tell them in their face, it's over, and you'll never even see them, you'll never even bump into them, you won't even see their social media.
You will not.
And all that.
When you let it go, like completely, even for yourself, just let them go. By the way, they just vanish.
Yes.
So the other one is they've never broken a bone theory. There's an idea that people who have never experienced significant physical harm often carry an unusual heavy emotional and mental load instead, as if the universe redistribute their weight somewhere. You see someone who has never had anything major happen to them physically, and think they have had it easy. But sometimes the people who have never had a visible crisis are holding the most invisible ones. Yeah, I see how that could be.
So if you've never like broken a bone or gotten into a very awkward situation, it somehow makes sense, but somehow they are not normally very cautious about what they do. Me, I'd want to say that, or they are not that protected, because if you've never experienced something, you wouldn't know how harmful it is. Somehow people, it can be a joke. It's like a joke, because somehow people who have broken a bone, they are normally more cautious than the never broken a bone thing. Yeah. So I'd want to argue differently with that theory.
Maybe in my understanding, it's more like just because, like, maybe I've never gone through a major accident, let's say even just a car accident, an accident that changes my life physically. It doesn't mean that I've never gone through a very hard time mentally. Maybe I'm breaking down very much mentally. It's even more than the physical pain that you're feeling. You know, maybe my emotional well-being is very hard or very heavy or I'm just stressed, just because I don't have to have gone through harm or stress physically. I might be going through it emotionally and mentally, and it's even more difficult. That's what I think.
But for you to go through you just need to go through something for you to actually understand it. If you haven't gone through an accident, as much as you fear it, you would still struggle. You may never, if you haven't gone through grief, you may never understand. Yeah. So it's basically like, yes, to some extent, but I feel like you don't even care. Yeah.
Okay, we look at one more.
Yes, then we end it from there. The bridge theory. Some people were never meant to stay in your life. They came, changed something in you, shifted your mindset, opened your eyes, and then they left. Not because anything went terribly wrong, and not because they were bad for you, but because their role in your story was always transitional. They were the bridge between who you were and who you need to become.
Agreed. They're just people who you meet and they change something in you, and that's it.
Yes.
What in that's it?
Yes. It's self-explanatory.
Sometimes you don't need to think about some people too much or anything. It's okay.
Yes, and this is something that I have to say before we end the theories. You can be a bridge in your family. Maybe your family has been that family of your grandparents who are sleeping when other people were working. So you've come. You might be the bridge to make your family or your future generations to suffer less. Yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yes. And this also applies to the Gen Z. They might be a bridge for us to thinking about it. They're helping us not to
go through
or for future generations to suffer less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
and that's it.
True. That's it. So you have an opportunity for us?
Yeah. Okay, today I don't have an opportunity, but I'll still plug people to the gig economy. Go look at Ajira Digital. That is something that the government at least is doing for us. Go and learn how the digital economy works. Apart from that, go to the list KE.
Yeah.
See what's happening there.
Something there. We have an event coming soon. Who knows? They could invite you.
Yes.
And do something great for us. So We wish you a beautiful week ahead.
Yes.
Enjoy your time. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this.
Yes, and please, as you listen to this, drop your comments because this conversation is definitely bigger than one episode. We would like to also hear from you so that we continue these conversations.
Alrighty. Bye, and you'll hear from us next time. Maybe see us soon. You'll be